Now, the party also has deep roots in the Eastern Cape, as many of its former leaders come from that province, including party giants like Oliver Reginald Tambo, Nelson Mandela, Raymond Mhlaba and Govan Mbeki. SABC News reporter Lerato Fekisi is there, so let's cross to her in Nceba to find out more. Lerato, good morning. So the country and the ANC across the country are basically, looking at where the contributions came from in the various provinces. So speak to us about the contribution from the Eastern Cape.
Absolutely, Sakina. A huge contribution in the ANC coming from the Eastern Cape, what Eastern Cape is called, what would call itself the engine of the ANC when you look at the national context. I'm joined this morning, Sakina, by former mayor of NMB, Nceba Faku, a man who has been at the helm of the ANC as a mayor and also during his time was able to really to make sure that ANC stays at the top, to talk about the history of the ANC in the Eastern Cape and also to speak about the dwindling numbers of the ANC in the NMB and perhaps what the sentiments of the ANC are concerning the January 8th statement that's expected on Saturday. Mr. Faku, let's first talk about the ANC in the Eastern Cape. For a long time, the ANC has been at the helm, still at the helm of the ANC in the Eastern Cape. The history of the ANC, just a context for the viewers to understand the rich history the ANC has in the Eastern Cape.
Well, the history, good morning to you. The history of the ANC comes a long way in terms of even before the existence of the ANC, in terms of the lot of frontier wars against land dispossessions that were forced here, and the history of missionaries in establishing education institutions like your Hilltown, your Forte. So by the time the ANC was established, actually, there was a well-cultivated background for knowledgeable and intellectuals of the ANC to be able to lead our people to another level of the struggle. So in the Eastern Cape, we have inherited that kind of tradition. As you know, also that many of the founding leaders of the ANC are actually coming from the Eastern Cape, exactly themselves. They were educated and acquainted with the ANC during their academic and intellectual development, your Forte products, your Hilltown products, and so on and so on. You mentioned Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Khubusana, and many of these leaders that really come from, even during the time that was leading towards the establishment of military resistance under MK, the strong resistance preceding that period, what we called the Defiance Campaign, was mainly active and strong here in the Eastern Cape. In actual fact, it was launched here in the Eastern Cape. Nelson Mandela himself was here to launch the volunteers of the African National Congress under Raymond Mhlaba, here in the Eastern Cape. So we've got that kind of rich history.
Mr. Faku, we also, though, have seen that the ANC is doing well in the Eastern Cape, but when you come and zoom in now to the NMB, yes. Under your time, we saw the ANC at its helm, but over the years, we've seen dwindling numbers, declining numbers of the ANC in the NMB, the formation of coalitions where the ANC has not got a full majority. What would you say has been a contributing factor to the ANC that we saw during the time of OR Tambo, Nelson Mandela, Govan Mbeki, to the ANC that we see now where the numbers are not reflecting an ANC that is strong?
Indeed, we have challenges, and as a result, a lot of other opportunistic political parties have emerged to fill in the space of the gap. There are a number of reasons. One of them, or some of them, if I may say, was that I think we have somehow dropped the ball in terms of focusing on the core issues of our people, like, for instance, crime issues, the rise of corruption, all these kind of negatives that people were expecting that the ANC will be able to attend to effectively. Unfortunately, I think we were sidetracked by other personality and faction issues as the African National Congress. And as a result, then the issues that were at the hard core of our people were slightly not much attended to. But I'm happy now that the ANC has actually realized that it needs to draw the quality of its leadership that will be able to address those issues directly with the people, and the structures, building up the structures of the ANC with leadership that will be able to understand and bring the people with it in addressing those issues.
Thank you, Mr. Faku. That was former Mayor of NMB, Nceba Faku, speaking about the rich context of the ANC in the Eastern Cape, producing great leaders such as OR Tambo, Mandela, Govan Mbeki, also highlighting the fact that the ANC has dropped its support, but also saying that he's encouraged that now the ANC is, what he's saying, revitalizing itself, rejuvenating itself, and trying to find ethical leaders that will take the ANC forward. For now, let's go back to you guys in studio.
Well, thanks so much, Lerato, Fekisi.